Big here, rocking the triple XL, the triple XL Iron Rebel hoodie. Never thought that I would say that in my life, that I'm wearing a triple XL, but good morning guys, welcome to the video. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about when should you stop bulking. Now, I'm a firm believer that in order for us to take our physique to that next level, we need to spend some time being uncomfortable for a while. We need to spend some time pushing up that body weight. We need to spend that time pushing up those calories in order to see that growth. In order to see that growth, you have to get uncomfortable. There's been this whole thing in the fitness industry over the last couple of years of the whole kind of main gaining thing, where you go ahead and you're just kind of sitting at maintenance and you're just gaining a little tiny bit at a time. And while I think this can definitely work, I don't think that it is going to optimize your physique development. If your goal is to get the absolute most out of your physique development, you want to improve your placing on stage, you want to go ahead and build your best physique that you can, I don't think that the whole main gaining approach is going to be the best way to go about things. I definitely think that pushing your body weight up a bit, pushing your calories up a bit is going to be the best way to go ahead and pack on that extra tissue so that the next time you do diet down, you actually see a significant difference. But with that being said, there is definitely a point of diminishing returns when it comes to being in an off season and when it comes to being in a gaining phase. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today, is that when do you go ahead and, call it quits? When do you go ahead and say, all right, maybe it's time for us to go into a dieting phase. Maybe it's time to go ahead and dive into a little bit of a mini cut before pushing things back up. We can't just keep continue to gain and gain and gain without expecting to have some negative adaptations along the way. So that's what we're going to be kind of diving into today's video. But without further ado, go ahead, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So going ahead and kicking things off, I think the first determining factor of when we need to go ahead and wrap up an off-season phase, when we need to go ahead and wrap up a gaining phase or a bulking phase, whatever term you want to go ahead and call it, they're all kind of interchangeable. But I think the first factor is going to be, where is our body fat percentage at? Obviously, if we are creeping up in body fat percentage, we are starting to see that body composition is starting to take a turn for the worse. This is when it may be a good idea to go ahead and kind of start to drop that back down, to maybe transition into a dieting phase or transition into a mini cut, depending on how much body fat it is you feel you have to lose. Because just because we want to go ahead and push that scale weight up, it doesn't mean we want to push that scale weight up to the point that we are just accruing a ton of body fat. A good rate of gain for most guys in a gaining phase is going to be about 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight per week. So say for example, I'm 210 pounds currently right now. That's going to have me gaining anywhere from about 1 to 2 pounds at the high end of things per week on average. Now obviously, if you are an experienced lifter, that's probably going to be towards the lower end of things, around that 0.5%. If you are a new lifter, you can probably go ahead and aim for that 1% body weight per week, and you're not going to accrue a ton of body fat because it's such a new and fresh stimulus to you. But if you start to notice that in your progress photos that your body fat is starting to accrue a little bit more in your areas that you might not always hold body fat, then this might be an indicator that it's time to go ahead and kind of reel things back in. And what I mean by this is that every guy knows where their fatter body parts are, basically. I know for myself that my shoulders and arms stay relatively lean year round, my legs stay very lean year round. I have pretty much lines throughout my legs the entire year, but my midsection and my lower back is where I'm going to hold the most body fat. So those are the two areas that I'm going to pay the most attention to throughout the course of a gaining phase. Is okay, how much body fat am I accruing in these areas? Obviously, there is going to be some body fat accrual, especially when you're pushing up into a calorie surplus, and at the end of the day, weight does move weight. The heavier you are, the more weight you are going to be able to lift. But at the same time, we don't want to get to that point that either A, we are starting to see a diminish in returns from carrying too much body fat. That could be things such as a decreased appetite, that could be things such as decreased libido, that could be things such as disrupted sleep quality, that could even just be our performance in the gym starting to take a hit because we are carrying around too much body fat. So we don't want to get to the point that we are starting to see those negative adaptations. And if we are starting to see some of those negative adaptations, or we are starting to get to the point where we can visually see that body fat is starting to get to a point that is not acceptable, then this is when I would suggest definitely transitioning into either, like I said, a dieting phase or a mini cut, depending on how much body fat you feel that you have to lose, as well as what phase you are currently in. If you are thinking about going into a competition prep, obviously that's going to be a little bit different, but if you are wanting to continue gaining, then potentially going into a shorter mini cut to just cut down that body fat, resensitize your body, and then kind of push things back up could be a great way to go about things as well. But that is going to be the first determining factor of when it is time to go ahead and cut off the gaining phase, is going to be if you notice that body fat has gotten to a point that we're getting a little bit sloppy and we're getting to the point that maybe we need to reel things in a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I have been there before myself, so I am not criticizing anybody, because I have gotten way too fat in an off season before when I should have definitely cut a lot sooner. But let's go ahead and head downstairs and make meal one before we go ahead and cover some more points of when you should go ahead and cut off that off season. It's really funny when I film these videos, I'm like, okay, we're going to have some sort of topic that I'm going to talk about, and in between we're going to throw some things in there of what I do throughout the day, but I really don't do a whole lot, or at least I don't do anything different on a day-to-day basis. It's like eating meals, going to the gym and training, and doing work. But I mean, I guess that's why you guys probably watch my content, is because it is like, it's just bodybuilding content. I'm showing you guys the real raw shit when it comes to what bodybuilders do every day. It's not this like fancy exciting life like all of these influencers are showing you. I'm sure some of them are living that fancy exciting life, but for the majority of us who are trying to pursue a career in bodybuilding, it's pretty simple shit like this. It's pretty much just eating your meals, training your ass off, and trying to make some money so that you can pay for your meals and pay to train your ass off. But nevertheless, food has been increased quite substantially since you guys probably last would have saw it. I don't remember how many calories I was eating in the last full day of eating video, but currently we are pushing really close to right around 4,000 calories per day in order to keep the performance trending upwards, in order to keep the body weight trending upwards as well. We have been pushing things pretty aggressively, but body composition has still been holding in a good spot, which is something that's very important and kind of what we're talking about in this video. So I don't really feel the need to do a mini cut quite yet. I was potentially going to do a mini cut at the beginning of January, but weight ended up kind of stalling out for a little bit there, and then was able to kind of break through that plateau. So I thought that I still had a bit more runway to go before going ahead and transitioning into a mini cut. But yeah, so I'll probably do a updated full day of eating for you guys, so that you guys can get an idea of what I'm eating to hit that 4,000 calories per day. I've got a big deadlift session today. I think that's the last video I filmed too, is like I did deadlifts, I think. I don't know. That's what we're doing today, though. We got the back and hamstring workout is on the plan for today. So definitely a big session, especially because I've now added some quad volume into that day as well to go ahead and continue bringing up my quads. So I now do almost like 2 leg days where I'll do like leg pressing today on the back and hamstring day, and then I have like my full dedicated quad day. Those are my 2 biggest days throughout the week. So definitely need the calories on those days. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead, dive into this, eat this meal, and then we will go ahead and touch on the next point at which you should think about cutting off your bulk or your off season.
You ever heard this song before? It's like a fucking electronic remix of fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. This is how my days go. I definitely find like the weirdest music ever. But sometimes the weird shit hits, I won't lie. Sometimes the weird shit hits, let's be honest. How many videos, what video was it? I think it was literally the last video. I'm surprised I didn't catch any shit for me singing to f***ing Snoop Dogg at the beginning, but I think if you guys follow me, if you guys watch me, you know I'm an idiot. You know I'm an idiot, so it's expected at this point that I'm just gonna do dumb shit. Hey, camera. Can you focus on me, please? It's because I move around with my hands. Someone commented too, I hope you're watching. Someone commented too that they were like, why do you talk with your hands like that? It's so awkward and it's impossible to watch. And I was like, if the way that I talk, if the way that I move my hands bothers you, don't watch my video. I'm sorry. That's the truth of it. I like read that comment and I kind of laughed. I was like, because imagine if I just sat here the whole video like this, hands crossed, speaking to you guys, not moving at all. Is this very exciting? Not really. So I speak with my hands. I've always spoken with my hands. It's not even something that I just do for the videos. It is something that I just do all the time. I'm doing it right now. Look at that. Now I'm going to be self-conscious of it, but I really don't care. So moving on to the second reason that you might go ahead and cut your off-season or your gaining phase short. You've been stuck at a plateau for an extended period of time. And I'm not just talking about like, you know, you went ahead and you hit 200 pounds and you've been stuck there for like a week or 2 weeks. I'm talking like you got to 200 pounds and you have been stuck there for like a month, 6 weeks, going on 8 weeks. This is at the point where I do think that you should try to push through those plateaus. I definitely think that you should be continuing to try and push through those plateaus because it's the same thing like when you go into the gym and you're trying to lift a certain weight and you can't lift that weight. You should be still trying to break through those plateaus because inevitably, in order to accrue tissue, you are going to have to push that scale weight up. But I do think we get to a point that sometimes pushing too hard is just going to bring more negatives than it is positive. We are continuing to push too hard. Food is super high. We might start to find that our sleep is being disrupted because of that. We might start to see our training performance starts to take a dip. We might start to feel a little bit more lethargic throughout the day because we're eating so many carbs. We might start to see some other factors start to take a hit because we are just trying to continue pushing through that plateau. This is a point that if you've been stuck at that plateau for, like I said, a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, going on 2 months, this is where you might want to consider just going into like a short mini cut phase. Like that mini cut phase could be, you know, like 4 to 6 weeks. It could be 6 to 8 weeks to just go ahead and resensitize yourself. Go ahead and get your appetite back because if you're pushing a whole shit ton of food, you're probably not even hungry at this point, and it's going to be harder to add more calories in order to grow. So go ahead, take that, you know, 4 to 8 weeks to go ahead, take that mini cut, resensitize yourself, get a little bit hungry, get your body weight into a good position so that when you do go ahead and push back up the next phase, you can go ahead and you can break through that plateau a lot easier. You know, if you got stuck at 200 before, you go ahead and you do a mini cut down to like 190, let's say, for example. Then when you go into that next gaining phase, you're going to shoot past 200 a lot easier because you're going to have the appetite to do it. Your body is just going to be in a more responsive state, and that is going to lead to you seeing better long-term progress. So that is the second reason that I would go ahead and kind of cut off an off season or cut off a gaining phase, is because you have just hit a plateau in body weight and you find that no matter what you do, you just can't push past that. Like I said, it's not like just, oh, my weight has been stuck for like a week or two, because just go ahead and give it some time to catch up and it probably will. But if you've been stuck there for like, you know, 4 to 8 weeks, then I would go ahead and maybe think about implementing just a short kind of mini cut phase to go ahead, resensitize your body so that you can go ahead and bust through that plateau. So we're going to go ahead, get some pre-workout, get some caffeine in me, and then we're going to go in there and smash some heavy ass deadlifts. I'm super excited. Did 465 for 6 this week, so I'm kind of floating between either doing 465 for 7 today or potentially jumping to like 470, 475 and see what we can get, which is wild to think about. I really like the sound of that. That's pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead, shut up, we're gonna get in there and we are going to crush this workout.
Don't wait it, can't ever wait me, think, never make it, hey, falling in, wait, see, don't know where to go, can't see, ever wait me up, think, see, never make it out, hate me, falling in, wait, see, and I don't know where to go, cause I can't see, no one ever wait me up, so I think, see, never make it out, cause they hate me, falling in and it's waist deep, and I don't know where to go, cause I can't see, no one never gon' wake me up, so I stay asleep, I ain't never gon' make it out, cause they hate me, I'ma go ahead and bounce back, got what I need, yes indeed, even though I might bleed, man, I'ma proceed to bounce back, this how it be, when you know you got the keys, you at ease, cause all you gotta do is bounce back, same old plan, different day, can't please everybody anyway, fell off, bounce back, try to impede, and you just might swerve at the trees, but what you gon' do when it go down, hit him in the face, make them slow down. Siege got them heads moving like a merry-go-round. Bloodhounds, we been living life with no bounds. Haters trying to get up on my level, gain no ground. Stay down, either rise up or you lay down. Pop said you better stay smart and stay brown. If I take a shot, I'm staying with it all the way down. Been teaching niggas how to swing since the playground. See, bro, I got the cheat code. I'm PG, ho, you more like Shaq with the free throws. Truth be told, I'm machine code, Neo. I don't see enemies, I just see code. Reload, y'all still on the damn start screen. I already beat the game on each mode, so understand who I am. Let them sing hand in hand every time that my story's being retold. I don't want nobody looking, man. This is for all of that hate that I took in. Turn up the heat like I'm cooking. I get out the same energy that I put in. Did all the things that you couldn't. They got in my way and I just kept on pushing. Change up the state like I'm moving as soon as I pull in. I'ma go ahead and bounce back. Got what I need, yes indeed, even though I might bleed, man. I'ma proceed to bounce back. This how it be when you know you got the keys, you at ease, cause all you gotta do is bounce back. Same old plan, different day, can't please everybody anyway. Fell off, bounce back. Try to impede and you just might swerve at the trees, but you can go ahead and bounce. Hey, bounce back. Hey, bounce back. Bounce back. Hey, bounce back. Pray tails on your coattails, no fail. Boy, you better rescale. Blackmail, still gon' prevail. Don't care, I'm already prepared. Pray tails on your coattails, no fail. Boy, you better rescale. Blackmail, still gon' prevail. Don't care, I'ma go ahead and bounce back. Got what I need, yes indeed, even though I might bleed, man. I'm a pro.
Session is done. Really happy with the performance this session. Ended up pulling 5 plates on deadlifts for 5 reps, which was absolutely insane. I've never touched 5 plates in my life, so that was very exciting. I was very scared because last week I did 465 for 6. Probably could have pulled a 7th, and then 5 plates is 495. So a 30-pound jump, I was like, I might only get like 3 or 4 reps. Ended up pulling 5 reps. Probably could have got a 6th rep, but left it there just to be safe. So very happy with the performance across this workout. Workouts have been flying lately, which is awesome to see. So gonna keep the off season rolling while things are going good, which is the topic of this video. Kind of want to go ahead and cut off that off season. So we're gonna go ahead, head home, get a post-workout meal, and then we are going to dive into the third and final reason that I would say that you should be going ahead and cutting your off season off and potentially transitioning into either a maintenance phase, a mini cut, or a dieting phase as well. So catch you guys in a bit.
Okay guys, so diving into the third and final reason that I would go ahead and cut an off season or a gaining phase short, and this is simply going to come down to your health. This is more so going to be for the enhanced bodybuilders out there, but obviously this does still apply to everyone. We know that a healthy body is a responsive body, so if your body is not in a good spot, if your body is not in a healthy state, it's not going to respond as good to the food that you're eating, it's not going to respond to the training, and it's not going to respond to potentially the PEDs that you are taking. So if your health markers are all a mess, if your health is all out of check, it's all out of whack, then this is when I think that it would be important and it would be a good time to go ahead and transition into a health phase, transition into a maintenance phase, so that you can get your health markers into a good spot, so that when you do go into that next growth phase, when you do go into that next off season, that your body can respond and it can grow the best that it possibly can. And this is why getting blood work done is going to be something that is going to be so important to make sure that you are monitoring that health, you are monitoring those health markers in order to see where is everything at. And this goes just beyond blood work. Some other factors that I think are important to track is obviously going to be blood pressure. You should be taking your blood pressure daily, if not at least once a week. Blood glucose is another one that you can go ahead and manage, just that little kind of finger prick. You can go ahead and manage that to see where your insulin sensitivity is at. Resting heart rate is a great one to go ahead and measure as well. Super easy. Those 3 you can do right from home. You can get a blood pressure cuff on Amazon for like 40-50 bucks to go ahead and track that, and that's something that is crucial when it comes to your health. Your blood glucose, you can go ahead and just pick one of those up at like the drugstore or the superstore or whatever it may be, or you can probably order those online as well to go ahead and track that. And then resting heart rate, just using something such as like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, whatever it may be, to go ahead and track that resting heart rate to see if those things are trending trending in a negative direction? Is your blood pressure increasing over time? Is your blood glucose increasing over time? Is your resting heart rate increasing over time? And then on top of that, making sure that you are doing regular blood work. I would say anywhere from every 3 to 4 months, doing it about 3 to 4 times a year, to go ahead and check all of those health markers, like what is your lipid panel looking like, what are your hormones looking like, what is your LDL looking like, your cholesterol, different things like this, going ahead and monitoring those factors to make sure that our body is in the healthiest spot possible, because bodybuilding can definitely be a bit of a risky sport. So we want to make sure that we are taking those preventative measures to go ahead and make sure that we are staying on top of our health, so that we can not only stay healthy in the long run, but so that we can also grow to the best of our ability, because a healthy body is going to be a responsive body. So this would be the third and potentially one of the most important reasons that I would go ahead and cut an off season or a growth phase short, is because we just start to see health has been taking a bit of a hit lately, and we need to go ahead and get those things in check before potentially moving into a blast, potentially moving into a push-up phase, whatever it may be, because just being at heavier body weight can put some of that strain on our body as well. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. As always, I hope that you guys did enjoy the video. I hope that you guys got some value as well as to maybe how long your off season should be, or if maybe you need to go ahead and cut your gaining phase short, you need to go ahead and kind of cut your off season short, so that you can, recomp your body, come down in body fat, you can get your health markers in check, you can break through that plateau, whatever it may be, wherever you are at. Hopefully this gave you the information to do so. That is what I hope to deliver to you guys through these videos. It's just good quality information that can help you crush your fitness goals and help your bodybuilding journey as well. But as always, if you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to drop a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. As well, if you guys are new around here, be sure to click that red subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on any future content. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.